Hello, today we're talking about a crypto exchange that just got drained of over $8 million in under an hour, and they still don't know how it happened. You gotta listen to this one. By the way, I'm Alex, Simex crypto channel. Make sure you subscribe. It means a lot to me. It means a lot to the community. Now let's start with the story. On the 9th of August, attackers targeted a crypto platform or crypto exchange called Coinsbuy across two different blockchains at the exact same time. And when I say exact same time, I mean it. It was coordinated like military level coordinated. So they started with a tiny 5 USDT test transaction on Tron, just to check if the doors are open. And of course, minutes later, they drained over $6 million of USDT from 8 Tron wallets. But here's where it gets interesting. At the exact same moment on Ethereum, they emptied 3 more wallets of 1.89 million USDT and 77 ETH or Ethereums. So they were hitting two chains simultaneously. I think they know what they're doing. So that's not a random hacker. That's someone who knew exactly what they were doing, and the 77 ETH they stole on Ethereum was immediately swapped for more ETH for 1 inch using a wallet that was created the same hour. So this wasn't some amateur, this was a professional operation. Now, how did they pull this off? Well, the attacker linked the two chains together using a cross-chain swap service called Bridgers. Honestly, first time I heard about it. But now I find out, and it happened to be a payout contract on Ethereum sent funds directly into the swap wallet, connecting what appeared to be separate operation into a single incident. This is actually a pretty sophisticated technique, I would say, and most hackers stick to one chain, but this guy bridged Tron and Ethereum seamlessly. So on one hand, congrats, on the other, terrible that this stuff is happening, because this is really undermining the confidence and the trust of all of us into the crypto world. But okay, let's move further just for the sake of the story. Okay, so most hackers, as I said, stick to one chain, and this guy attacked two of the at the same time. So yeah, he was professional, or is professional. But blockchain researchers from Block Watchdog were able to tie both networks to the same attacker through Bridgers, and they're the ones who tracked this whole thing. Then they moved out about 79% of the stolen funds, roughly 6.34 million, through the FixedFloat exchange. I mean, the attackers did it. And they did it using about 50 single-use addresses. So they were clearly trying to cover their tracks, spreading the money across dozens of wallets to make it harder to trace. And another 150 ETH was sent through Change Now, but that platform actually froze a six-figure sum after being contracted by the Spectre investigations. So some of the money is locked up, around 282 ETH, roughly $500,000, or exactly $545,000 across 5 addresses, still hasn't moved. So if you're wondering where the money went, some of it is still just sitting there, but mostly it's gone. Now here where it gets stranger. Within hours of the hack, Coinsbuy actually refilled the hacked wallets with about $3.93 million, and they did it within 0.05% accuracy of the original amounts, which is very unusual. Most exchanges freeze everything and start investigating, but Coinsbuy put money back in. The blockchain investigator who tracked this said that this only makes sense if the team doesn't believe their private key were compromised. They think the attacker somehow got into the withdrawal system, the path that uses the keys, not the keys themselves. Interesting story, right? And I've got to be honest with you, that's actually worse in many ways. Because if your private keys are compromised, then you know what the problem is. You change them, but if the withdrawal system itself is compromised, that means there's a fundamental flaw in how the exchange process withdrawals, right? That's a much harder problem to fix, and everyone loses much more trust into this exchange or crypto world in general. So Black Watchdog put it perfectly. They said an address is a key. Nobody tops up a compromised wallet within 7 figures twice in one night. That's really weird. Whatever was taken on August 9, I would say, said about the keys, the withdrawal pad that used them. I love that quote because it really captures the mystery here, and the money was stolen but the keys weren't somehow. So how did the attacker get in? Nobody knows. That's why this story is even more interesting. And here's one more thing. Coinbuy hasn't publicly explained anything. No statement, no proof of reserves, no breakdown of what happened. The community is asking questions and they are getting silence. And that's the most dangerous thing, I would say, in crypto, because silence when something goes wrong, that's a bad sign. They did eventually say that no client has borne any loss and that the platform is stable, but they refused to disclose technical details and offered $100,000 reward for information on the attackers. Good luck with that one, I would say. So they're trying to buy answers, but they still haven't told us how this happened. And here's even the bigger picture for you guys. This isn't an isolated incident. DeFi protocols have already lost over 840 million to hacks in the first 5 months of this year only. $840 million in first 5 months in this year only. So in July alone, attackers stole 24 million for Arbitrum-based AFX trade. Earlier that month, decentralized exchange Ostium lost 18 million after an attacker compromised an Oracle key. So this is a part of a pattern, almost, I would say. The industry is bleeding money to hackers and exchanges are struggling to keep up. Of course, where the money is, there the robbery is. And here's something else worth noting, I would say. Block Watchdog found no address overlap with the attacker behind the July 24 AAA hack, and they noted different laundering patterns. So this is a new player, not a repeat offender. That's actually more concerning to me because it means that there are more skilled hackers out there than we thought, and they're more skilled than the exchangers themselves. So what does this mean for you or for me, for everyone? Well, if an exchange can lose $8 million and not even know how, and doesn't even say it to everyone else, I think your funds and my funds might not be as safe as we think. This is exactly why self-custody matters. Not your keys, not your crypto, because if an exchange's withdrawal system can be compromised without anyone knowing how, our money is at risk. By the way, make sure you subscribe to this channel. If you got any value, press a like button. It means a world to me. I'll see you in the next video.